Okay, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Whoa, just try to get us back to square one here. And give me a second here. There we go. That seems to be open. I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat on the other side there. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. We're going to get into it in just a minute. We forgot to share the stream. Oops. What does that thing do? Does this thing do share the stream? I think it does. There we go. We can tweet. All right. Looks like we're good. And let's tweet that. Okay. Good. Okay. We'll see if anyone hops in now. And I'm going to open YouTube on this side, see how my stream is doing. And then we're just going to get into it, okay? I'm excited, man. This is going to be awesome. All right. So tonight we're going to be hopping in on a new Alchemist team. And this is going to be my 5th Alchemist team. So it might be time to go ahead and, really kind of go for some different color schemes. And so that's the idea. I haven't picked my colors yet. And that's part of the reason why I want to watch right now. And since the streaming status is bad, oh gosh. No. I think it's okay. Usually when it says it's bad, it's pretty good. And then when it says it's good, it's not so great. So we're going to play around with the color scheme here on Midas. And we're also going to paint we're going to try to get a couple of mascots done, okay? It's going to be all brushwork tonight. It's part of the deal here is to work on these the old school way. But let's go ahead and paint in eyes and faces. You know, the stuff you need to do first. So the reason why I'm experimenting on Midas here is because I've got the whole team, but this Midas sadly is not going to be on the board much at all. I have the Legends Midas. And so I'm using this Midas as the test color scheme for the rest of them. So if this Midas works out, then we'll use him. We'll use that color scheme going into the other guys. Okay. And I have several thoughts. The problem is I have too many thoughts regarding what color scheme I need to go with here. So. So we'll get going there. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening here. I'm just gonna get going. So first things first, we're gonna paint in the black for Midas's eyes. So this Midas has some deep set eyes. The other one doesn't quite have deep set eyes. And like I said, this is my 5th Alchemist team. So I got a lot of room here to play around a bit. Okay, let's do that. And then let's just turn this into kind of a pseudo wash there. Get the mouth there all nice and black. All right. And then for this guy here, I think what I'll do right now actually is let's go ahead and hit him with some armor wash. You know, get his whole outline down. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it. I probably won't do anything too bold with Flask here, but you never know. Sometimes you just change your mind and, you want everything to look a little bit different. So Flask being such a traditionally copper looking, right? He's like brass looking, not a copper and brass. That may not be the route I want to go this time, right? Like I said, I painted 5 or 6 of these before. I might want to do like a steel version or even like a two-tone version of Flask. Right? Flask is such a big part of the team this season. And, last season, for me, it was all about the Snick. So Snick had the big runs last season. Flask has had the majority of the starts this season for me. But it's things are going to change slightly. What I mean by that is Naja. I tried him out last week into Butchers, and Boar was on the field, and that's really where Naja comes into his own, right? Being able to shut down players like Boar or like even like O Rage, guys like any of those like really low influence beater guys, like Boar, O Rage, even Wendell. Naja can really do a number on those guys through hypnosis. And hypnosis is also a really good way to shut down strikers too. So if you can land hypnosis on a low defense target and telegraph it onto a striker, now you're talking there. That's a very powerful thing to do. Okay, so just a little outline there on Flasky, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do with him. I still kind of like the idea of him being like brass looking, but we may actually do several different types of color scheme on him. The cover here I might change slightly too. But for right now, let's get these guys done. Let's get some white in the eyes of Mr. Midas here. Nobody likes painting eyes, but I think it's so important. If you get eyes correct, the models look fantastic. If you don't, the models look terrible. It's like a do or die thing here, getting these eyes correct. No pressure, Octave. No pressure. All right. Okay. And then we're going to figure out the color scheme together. I have some thoughts, like I said, of what I might want to try. And one of the things about the Alchemists that you need to think about when you're doing their color scheme is you really need to think about how that is going to go with their spell effects. It's one of the cool defining features of the Alchemists is they have, more than any other guild, they have like the fire, poison clouds. They've got even like weird oozy parts to them. That's why aesthetically they're my favorite guild to paint. Whoops. They also happen to be my favorite guild to play right now. So I'm all in on Alchemists. That said, I do have another Engineers game that I have to upload. So you guys should be seeing that at some point. I'm just going to get Naj's eye here. So this 5th team here, sort of being this is just a labor of love for me. This is not a commission. I will sell the current team that I'm playing at some point. ideally to a local. I would prefer to sell it to a local so that we get another Guild Ball player out of it, or another Alchemist player at the very least. But, you know, I understand that may not happen either. So we'll see what we get here. I'm going to paint Naja's fangs. Okay. I'm liking that quite a bit. And then finally, let's paint the sort of eye dot here for Flasky. You know what? So Flask is going to have, this Flask is going to have a very pronounced eye. And I don't know what color it's going to be yet. All right, I'm going to paint the outside edges of that eye white. And I'm going to paint the middle white too for now. It'll be white until we determine what color we really want that to be. And then might as well paint in some of his bottles. Paint those in white. Little beaker. All the beakers here. Beaker Keeper is a great name for an ability, and it's a fantastic ability. This is what Beaker Keeper is obviously the reason why Flask is I consider him the default mascot. And then you bring in Naja for specific matchups. That's kind of how I've been treating it. Flask, default, Naja, bring him in for specific matchups. Okay. Time to dot some of these eyes. All right. There we go. Very cold stare here on this Midas. Just close off that eye a little bit. Right. Again, if it takes a couple of tries to get right, make sure you get it right. Right, spend the extra time, because I'm telling you, you get this part right, the rest of the model is going to look great. And then it's always easier to work with one eye right side up and work with the other eye right side upside down if you have to. Oop. I think I just borked that. Yeah, I did. I filled in too much of that eye. My black was probably a little too liquidy. Yeah. So even though you can kind of see it there, I need to make sure this is right. Okay. And then let's dot this bad boy back in. It can be very difficult to do this, especially on camera. You got a camera right in front of where your face wants to be when you're leaning in. Well, it is right there. I wonder why it won't. Why will it not just dot like a regular eye would? Cannot get it. I'm gonna have to try it this way. Again, this is important. Like, keep doing it until you got it right. Usually doesn't take me this many tries to get eyes right though. Whoa! Yeah, the liquid's acting extra jerky tonight. So I think I got it now. I think that actually did the trick. Right, because I just closed this off now. Wow, what is up with this back? It's not behaving right. I think for a lot of painters that struggle with eyes, it can be encouraging to watch other people struggle with eyes. It means you're not alone, right? You're not alone. Sometimes eyes are just sunken in weird, or there's something not quite right. Looks like I got that right though. Looks like we're good. I just need to close off a little bit more here. Yeah. Needs a little bit more touch up. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now we got to do Naja's little pupils. Naja barely has eyes big enough to have pupils, but I do it anyway. For whatever reason, the smaller pupils are a little easier for me, especially smaller vertical pupils. I'm just going to draw that line in and forget about it, right? There you go. No one's going to notice that. All right. Let's move on to skin. Okay. And then while skin is going, we can figure out how we're going to do everything else here. Because this is something I've been struggling with. I don't know, like I said, black, or I was like black or yellow, black and yellow, or like green, purple, even like blue, white. I had all kinds of schemes, potential color schemes here for these alchemists, and I have and cannot. I just still have not committed to how they will look. That said, I really, am anxious to get started on them because they're so fun to paint. And getting this right is super rewarding. So I have decided that I want to have a darker this year. I want my alchemists to look more darker, more sinister looking. So we can wherever I land on the color scheme scale, I mean, I think that means that I really want to have black incorporated into the scheme. I love Midas. I love that Midas has this really distinctive face. As you can see, he has a very distinctive face. And it's really cool. Like, it's very expressive. In a lot of ways, I like this sculpt better than I like the legend sculpt. You know, that sort of heroic landing he's got. He's got a very distinctive face. The sort of, the transmutating arm I think is a little more, looks a little more Midas-y, if you will. Ugh, got a little that skin tone on his shirt. I'm gonna have to clean that up. I love it though. Okay. Yeah, just a great pose. I'm looking a little deep on this side of the face as far as the eyes are concerned. See if I can just cut that in a little bit. Whoa. That may have been a little bit more than I wanted. So I'm gonna try that off, and we're just gonna pick out a little bit of it. There we go. Okay, cool. Face is looking great. Then you got just this arm here. He has this cool watch, except he's wearing it on his right hand. That kind of bugs me. Okay. There we go. All right, let that dry for a minute. I think what we're going to do right now is, well, yeah, let's do, let's highlight a little bit of this more. Let's do another layer of white on Flask here. So I think Flask, this kind of center stripe is going to be steel. Right. The center stripe and the shoulder blades will be steel. Okay, and then let's do this guy here. A lot of cool ways to cut this neck. As interesting as I think green might be, maybe we do a spectacled cobra, which is kind of black, but like a black green. So let's see. So I think we're going to start with We're going to start with a heavy black-green on most of the body. So I have these like new green colors that I've been wanting to play around with. So let's see how they do. Oh, before I even really do that though, I need to paint the tongue in. So I need carmine red or some sort of deep red. Let's go ahead and do that. Even though snakes don't really have like bright red tongues. That's like not a thing. In case you were wondering. It's not really a thing. Am I gonna do it still? Yes, for a fact, yes, I will. Because he's got that there. Okay, right. A little red there. And now we're gonna do the this like super dark green. And this is probably gonna go on like a wash. Any of these like deep colors tend to go on pretty thin. Make sure I've got it nice and mixed. It's kind of a dull color. No worries. We're still gonna make this work, okay? Should I? It might be too dark, but hell, let's figure it out. It's a pretty dark color. It's not the end of the world, though. I think we can make this work, guys. Especially if I can get a little yellow on the eyes there. Really kind of make those eyes stand out. Now, truth be told, I usually spend almost no time on the mascots when I'm painting this team. But like I said, this is more of a labor of love this season. So, and the other nice little side effect here is we get to see, is this the type of green we want on the Alchemist outfit? It's really deep. So right now, I'm leaning towards no, we don't want this. But let's get it all blocked in there. This might be a great color for this neck, though. And this green, we can paint like little spectacled looks on the back. Okay, and then this whole side there is gonna be this dark green. And then I gotta figure out what color to paint those vents. I love that Nausea is Cobra Kai, basically. I love Cobra Kai. Great show. I've always really liked the Cobra Kai studio in the Karate Kid movies. Been a big fan of Sensei Kreese and Johnny, obviously. I do love that show quite a bit. All right. So my thinking with Naja is, like I said, Naja is out there to do a few things. You can kill the ball with Naja, which is great. You can also prey on those 1 to 2 influence beaters and put hypnosis on them. Hypnosis is also decent to telegraph onto um, enemy strikers because that makes it very hard for them to score if they have hypnosis on them. And then you can also uh, just use them for crowd outs, which was super useful. Especially the style of play I do is a little more aggressive than, especially with the Midas play style. It's a little more aggressive. So being able to provide crowd outs and just be in the way, kill the ball on, and then land the hypnosis is nice. All right, so that's going there. Let's go back to, let's do the second layer of skin on Midas here. So we're going to go up to tanned highlight. So you just go like deep, heavy skin tone and then tanned highlight. And it's pretty good base of skin. I usually, on male miniatures, I don't need to do much more than that. There might be a third, like a super highlight on here, but we'll see. I was going to do like a yellow and black Wu-Tang scheme, but I don't think that's cool enough, believe it or not. I think I want to really push what I do here for a color scheme. Okay, you can see I'm just getting him into shape here. Midas is a very striking looking miniature. From season 3 at the end, post nerf, he had proved to be my favorite captain in the game. Like, I like him better than Honor from season 3. I think that was really where the Alchemists had taken over my heart. Essentially, was as a Masons player. Actually, believe it or not, the very first 2 guilds I got for Guild Ball were Masons and Alchemists, and I bought them at the same time. And the reason why I bought them is because those are my 2 favorite looking guilds right out of the bat. It was like, okay, I want to play stuff that looks cool to me, and the Masons looked the most cool to me, and then the Alchemists also looked really cool to me. And then I also really liked the idea that, of playing an Alchemist guild, because I am a chemist by trade, and so even though what I do for a living now, it does involve chemistry. It's just I'm not the one doing it. So still have a little soft spot for chemistry related stuff, but it's not as relevant in my life as I might lead you to believe. Yeah, it's good looking Midas there. Make sure that's nice and smooth. Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Maybe a little too much of the dark rings around the eyes. Might be a little too A little much. That looks okay now. There's a little heavy. There we go. Okay, so now yeah, I want to see. Let's use nausea as sort of this test too. Let's see. I want to see. I have this other color that I really like that I want to try. This jade green. Let's try this. What does this look like? I might use it. Let's use it as the first highlight over that that deep green. Be cool if Sneck actually helps us come up with the color scheme. Kind of looks like foul green, but a little more. Oh, that's a really nice green. Holy crap. I might be using this. Oh, yeah. Totally does not go with this green. Yeah. Doesn't really go with this green. Looks a little odd. Am I going to do it? Hell yeah, I'm going to do it. Still looks wild. Right? Still going to do it because it's a wild look. Look at that. It does not go. So it has to be more than a highlight. It's got to be the base tone. So that dark green, as cool as that is not going to be. I might use it as a deep layer undercoat, but probably not, because if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Yeah, this is a good base coat. Oh, wow. Yep. So this is the green. So it's a blue green. And then it looks like I would actually highlight the super highlight here is the foul green or verdigris. Because I'm going for a darker tone overall to the Alchemist, it will probably be foul green. So I'm just gonna fill this guy in. Yeah, I like this a lot. And then the complementary color will be black. So I think we've got our scheme. Or should I try turquoise as the highlight to this instead of, and then maybe foul green becomes the super highlight. That is a great color though. Oop. I like that quite a bit. Okay. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do I want to do the ventral scales, and I want to do the ventral scales, and I want a bright underside here. So you might actually have like a brighter yellow underside or even a red underside. Might be interesting. Okay, so first things first, ventral scales. Let's go ahead and paint those. It's not good. Should have a good ventral scale color already out here. Yeah, this like heavy, this warm khaki. Actually, I think I should hit those. I think I should hit those crazy greens inside. Let's really try something wild here. So let's try scorpion green on the inside with white. Right? Really kind of give that the idea that this hood should be as terrifying to other animals as possible. So the hood scales, we're painting scorpion green right now. Oops. Okay, so some ventral scales there. Hey, what's up, Hexus Panda? How you doing, man? Welcome to the feed. So the ventral scales are going to be brighter, and then we're going to highlight those with. Did I just use liver green twice? No. You working on anything tonight? We're really going to punch up the greens here. Okay. Adeptus Titanicus and Infinity. That's a lot of sci-fi. Since we know what Adeptus Titanicus looks like, what are you painting for Infinity? Because I occasionally paint Infinity, and I play Aristea. So I'm a big fan of painting Corvus Belli miniatures. I think they're great. Should be doing some Aristea. You need a break. Yeah. The game or the painting or both. Actually, a pattern is probably asking for too much down there. Let's just better define those ventral scales. So black, right? Just get that definition in there, and that should look pretty good. There we go. That's wild. Yeah. I really, like I said, I painted the last RSD I painted was that the Pirate Gata. Had a lot of fun painting that. Kind of went a little different again with the color scheme there. So let's get so the ventral scales on this guy are going to be kind of boring compared to the hood scales. And then I'll paint in the spectacles on the back while it's drying. Right, pretty straightforward there. Oh, you were hanging out. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in earlier as well. All right. So diamond pattern here for the spectacles. Good old freehand. Don't fail me now, freehand. I usually hate freehand. This is a very simple pattern to do, right? Right? It's not brain surgery. And then you just paint a couple of dots in it in each diamond. You got yourself a spectacled cobra. There. Very simple. Freehand, my freehand looks like you just spatted them all to your straw. I mean, that's not much freehand, right? You're just doing a couple of dots. You do a couple of diamonds, a couple of dots. Not that big a deal. Okay. Next up, we got to paint the gold or brass, whatever you want to call it. Gold or I guess let's paint them more like a brass color. So we got to paint them dark brown first. I'm liking this jade green though. It's pretty awesome so far. I think that was a big boon here. I think I may go, as far as my color scheme, I may go jade green and black this year with my Alchemists, because that should look pretty good with the spell effects. And it's still very, I mean, it's a departure from the standard scheme, but it's still very distinctly Alchemist. Like no one's gonna go, oh, and don't get me wrong, I had orange and blue Alchemist. It's my first team. So it's not like it would be the first time I deviated from the main scheme. It's just ever since I've been still fairly faithful to, the green and white Alchemist. There's like a patch down there I need to get paint into. I'll do that in a minute. And then we can paint Mr. Midas as well. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now let's go. Now we're going to paint this guy. Okay. And again, he's going to be more. He's going to be a mix this season. He'll be a mix of brass and silver. So I kind of have that silver mohawk area. Then the other areas around his face will be brass. His main body will still be brass, but he'll have silver shoulder blades. Like that. And then the smokestacks, I still like those brass. So, do you play any Guild Ball, by the way? I'm just wondering. If you're a Guild Ball guy. So he still has a lot of brass parts to him, but he'll also have some steel parts to him as well. Way too many games you don't play enough. I hear you. So between GW and Infinity, what would you say? Like, what's your main endeavor? Right? What are you logging more games in of these days? GW or Corvus Belly stuff? Hmm. Yeah, I guess we do that. Infinity? Okay. Who's your main faction for Infinity? Back in the day, I had Aleph was my main faction, and I play a lot of Aleph, and but I also had Pano, I had Meravinian, Ariadna, and then I just kind of painted random stuff that I liked the look of. Yeah, okay, so you're playing Pano. That's sweet. Yeah, just random stuff I like the look of, like I painted some Japanese sectorial. I painted, I painted what was the third edition box, the original box. Was it? Forget. Was it Inferno? It wasn't Red Veil. I don't remember. But the one that came with the Nomads. I painted the Nomads and the Pano from that set. I had a Shock Trooper set. I had the old Shock Troopers from before. That was a cool set. Where's my little guy up there screaming? Hopefully, he should be asleep. See if mommy will. Mommy doesn't get him soon. It might be a short cast. We might go. Yeah, Ice Storm. Sorry. You're right. Yeah. That was the last time I really tried Infinity was Ice Storm. Paint the tops of these beakers. Okay. All right. So we're looking good there. I'm going to give this Midas dark hair just because I tend to do that. I tend to give the kneeling guy dark hair and then the standing guy blonde hair. Like it's like he's gone Super Saiyan or something. Just makes sense to me. Don't judge me. Man, I really do like the kneeling version better in a lot of ways. My season 3 team was the same. I had dark hair on the guy kneeling, on the version of him kneeling, and then the one standing, I have him blonde. Midas is in this game is supposed to be blonde. Midas is I like his character in Guild Ball. He's extremely arrogant. He's this guy, basically, he was a noble, got bored of making money as a noble, decided to enter the world of alchemy. And, apparently he had developed this transmutation, the whole lead to gold thing. Or I forget exactly, but he was working on it and also playing Guild Ball at the same time. So trying to kind of increase his fame. He's like a really egotistical character, and he's kind of a hotshot, like goal scoring guy. And they try to make his rules for that in the game. He kind of plays off like a showboat guy. And this season, something really interesting happened with him. They he was super powerful before. He was a broken, a lot of people considered him to be a busted captain. He would always show up at the major events and that kind of thing. And then they nerfed him. They nerfed him in the middle of season 3, which was last year. And everybody and their mom just dropped the team. And at the time, I wasn't playing the team. But after they nerfed him, I said, "Hey, let's play some Midas." Now that no one's playing him, it sounds good, right? I guess I like to be a little bit of a snowflake, and I didn't like playing him when he was broken because it wasn't fun. Playing the super powerful broken shit just isn't my gig. So so after they nerfed him, everyone quit. I picked up my Alchemist team again and started to learn how to play it, specifically for playing Midas when everybody else had switched to the other captain. Hey, what's up, Blade Wolf? Most other people, season 3, that were still playing Alchemist post nerf, had switched to Smoke, and they were playing Smoke, and so everybody post Midas nerf was like, the Alchemist team was you play Smoke, and then you worry, and Midas almost never came out after he got nerfed. I played Midas exclusively, right? I have like 2 games maybe in season 3 with Smoke, and then going into season 4, the rules developers said, hey, let's make Midas, let's try to make Midas good again. And what they ended up doing was they they developed him with a bunch of Alchemist players that were really Smoke players. And so they developed rules that, from the smoke perspective, they thought would be good, but they weren't good. These weren't good rules. They were actually a nerf beyond his already nerfed version. And so when season 4 came out, I was screaming, to anybody who would listen to me, that this guy is nerfed. And everybody at the time, in theory, were saying, no, 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 he's better. He's better. They gave him all this stuff that, yeah, he's better on paper. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't play Midas last season post nerf. You don't know that the version you came up with is worse than the nerfed version of last season. And now only recently are people starting to understand that that's true. That this Midas is not, he's still trash, for lack of a better, he's still uh, not a good player. So that's where we are with Midas, and with this whole thing. What are you working on, Blade Wolf? So that said, I'm still playing Midas this season, even though I consider him to be one of the worst captains in the game. Um, he's There's still a lot of the smoke kind of hotness is wearing out a bit. The Alchemist win rate as a guild, now in Guild Ball, it's like, it's a very competitive scene, so people keep very meticulous track of how well each of the guilds do in the major tournaments and how they do in general, and they kind of track it month by month, like how each guild is doing. And in the case of the Alchemists, it was just, this guild had kind of, it's still going down. The win rate is still going down quite a bit. Let's give him a little salt and peppery thing here. Again, kneeling Midas, I really like the dark hair on him. And then he goes Super Saiyan full Midas when he's standing up. So I like to give him a little salt and pepper. Okay. I am liking this jade green. It's kind of cool. I wonder if I should do the pants jade green as well. Let's try it. Let's just try this. Like I said, we're trying out the color scheme. So if he was like mostly jade green, is it going to look stupid? Or is it going to look cool? It's kind of cool. And the other part of this is we got to figure out what, if anything, do I do with these custom bases I put them on. Which are pretty cool. Maybe some of the stones are slightly different grays or something like that. There. Now he looks like quite the leprechaun. What's the least favorite part of a model to paint? essentially anything that's covered that you have to kind of like slop your brush into. I also really hate painting like when they have hoods and uh, there's a face in it, like there's a face in the hood. I really hate painting that face because it drives me crazy not to paint eyes in and end up trying to paint eyes in there and it just doesn't work out. Okay, that's interesting. Great question. It explains the reason for my head swap. Let me show you. I'll show you guys real quick since we're hanging out. Like Smoke normally has a hood on her head, and I hated that, so I swapped the head here for this head. Whoa. So you can see her face now. She has a little bit of a like a cap thing over it, but her face and her hair are all there. Here's another head swap I did, which is kind of cool. I was going for that Android 18 look on Vitriol, and I found a model, a Rumble Slam model, that has a face of Android 18, so it's perfect. I just did a head swap there. Super excited to paint those. But we got to get the color scheme down, which is why I'm working on these right now. Okay, and let's go ahead and start with, well, let's start painting the gold in. Be kind of a wild color scheme. And that's kind of what I'm going for, right? Is I want these color schemes to be fairly wild. But not, I want them to be wild, but I still want to have the prominence of spell effects. Fireballs, poison clouds, and all that stuff. And we're still painting Johnny 5 here. But yeah, great question. There's, there's certain types of sculpts I don't like to paint. I don't like to paint endless busy work. You know what I mean? There's people that they're like really meticulous people that like would see every little button and every little add-on on some of these sculpts, like a super busy sculpt, for example. And they would love to pick out every single bolt, every single belt, every spike, every border. Like if you look at Privateer Press stuff, they have they have these they typically have a lot of spikes and chains, and then they have like a lot of bordering. Look at the Kador stuff with all the bordering, and look at Scorn, red with brass bordering on everything. And some people would just love to pick all that out. If you look at, and then a lot of Guild Ball models, they just have so many belts. So weird. Like Guild Ball models are like, oh hey, what's up, Canvas? They're like chalk to the brim with like belts and buckles and all this kind of shit. And I don't really care to paint that all the time. I would rather uh, like find like something cool on the model to blend. Or even I would prefer freehand over that, like endless bordering. Like, oh, you got to paint all the spikes on this model, like all the skulls, all the little stitch work. That's the part that drives me crazy. Like I would literally paint anything over that. Okay, so you can see with the gold color in, it's looking not brass. It's looking a little more like burnished gold, if anything. We will fix that. We'll fix that and smooth out this finish at the same time. Just gotta trust. And then we gotta figure out, like I said, I'll figure out what to do with the um, with these bases, because they're cool bases, but whoops, I just didn't even make it down there, did it? It's like blank spots where there should be paint. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay. Canvas, you do any miniature stuff anymore? You just came to hang out with me. I know you've missed me. Do you do the painting? If all that's true, how come you always send me tells saying that painting Space Marine shoulder trim always gets you votes? Oh man. Ah, you got me. Nothing better than painting Space Marine trim. Damn those Emperor's finest. Okay. Doesn't look like much right now. Let's keep going. And then the alchemist symbol is supposed to be gold over a green background, or sometimes a black background, or sometimes it's just a whole gold like pendant thing, right? So a little bit of gold that goes there, and then this symbol right here is gold, and then the outline little border there is gold, and the inside of that is green. Or it could be black, but we're gonna do it green. Okay. So now let's go ahead and highlight. Let's highlight up the green clothing bits, and we're gonna highlight that up with one of my favorite colors, foul green. We're actually gonna use it on the snack first. It's a very pale green. But it's cool if you do this right. I think I can get a really cool color scheme out of this. The snick is here. Oh, he comes out, he's out of focus when he comes in tight like that. The snick. I need to do is get some yellow and highlight, some yellow ink and highlight his eyes. Yeah, I need to do that. So let's get some yellow. Let's get a little bit of yellow ink here. Let's get this dude's eyeballs. It's a trick I like to do. Just a little yellow. So you paint the eyes in like normal eyes, and then after it's done, just get a little bit of yellow ink, and you're going to use it as a tint. I'm just going to tint those eyes in like that. That's actually a little much. And let's get tint on both eyes. Okay. And then just so we can see the pupil again. Thin it out a little bit. There we go. See the pupil there now. And here. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and get back to this. And you're really careful with this highlight because it's really light. You don't want to overdo it. It's cool looking though. It does really make for a nice, like an emerald green. It's cool. I'm just gonna kind of draw the highlight up around the top of the model. All right. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. No, really, Canvas, you painting? Do you paint anymore? No time for it. Just chill, hang out, sexually harass me on my streams. What do you do? What do you do? There we go. Okay. Been painting goblins. Cool. So are you playing what, AOS? What do you play, dude? You play Shadespire? Okay. That's just cool. Let's get some like green going on this guy's beakers. He should have a bit of green. He should have some red beakers. Maybe a couple of blue beakers. You know, let's mix it up. Right. AOS goblins. Cool. Let's give him a red eye. There. Now let's highlight this dude's clothes. I'm not so sure I'm liking the green pants. It's a little much with the green. I'm probably gonna go with black pants. Yeah. Probably gonna go away from this. Go to black pants on Mr. Midas. Like this, it's a cool green though. And it should look great with the black. In fact, while I've got that green out, we might as well paint this bad boy here. The 3 Alchemist colors. So the ball will be the jade green. So the 3 main colors are going to be green, black, and white, but like jade green. Right, so they're just going to look a little richer, a little more sinister than last year's team. Okay, and then down here. Now, I will point this out. This is not actually how the ball's going to go. Okay? I got plans, man. You'll see. I got plans with this, with the ball. The ball is going to be weird. Be a very strange looking ball. Right? We'll just paint that for now. I need another like really light bone color. Fair highlight's not bad, actually. Probably use fair highlight. Yeah, use fair highlight. Might work. If it will come out of the thing. The one thing I don't like about these Reaper droppers, sometimes they get all clogged up. And then you gotta go find a needle or something to unclog them. Ooh, that guy got really clogged up. Wow, it's a big old thick sleeve of paint. Oh man. Like all dry up in that under here. Yes, I am up for a dad joke. Go for it. This ought to be good. All right. What did the Buddhist monk say to the guy at the pizza store? I don't know. What did the Buddhist monk say to the guy at the pizza store? Can you make me one with everything? That's That was really stupid. But I asked for it, so my fault. My little baby up there is still screaming. It's having a good time though. It's a good scream. You know, babies scream with like they squeal because they're so happy about, you know, the Minions movie or some shit. That's what's going on up there. I forget what movie mom put on for them. One of those, you know. Obviously they love Minions and Despicable Me and all that. So it makes sense. That was a pretty terrible joke, but I liked it. All good. I think this is the most time I ever spent on nausea. I don't think I've ever spent this much time on a snack mascot as I did right just then. And then this guy here. So obviously a lot of detail on this guy as well. I think I'm just going to paint them this way where maybe I just do a few at a time instead of a giant batch paint and just kind of work my way through the team. This is a pet project, so this is gonna be a lot slower than I normally. I mean, I'm gonna take a lot more time on this than I normally. How's the power creep with Guild Ball? Are they keeping stuff balanced? That is a very interesting question, sir. I'm gonna say right now it's it's a little too early to say with season 4. With season 3, I felt like the guilds were pretty balanced. They were, everybody was pretty happy with the state of the game around season 3, but there was just stuff that needed to be addressed. There were a bunch of models that did not, um, that people weren't taking at all because they just weren't very good. The faction balance has been excellent. And again, I'm still in season 3. I haven't not talking about this season just yet. So season 3 kind of left us in a pretty good spot. At least that's how I feel. And the win rates reflect that, right? Right, like the top guilds win rates were, around 55%, and what were considered the weakest guilds in game were hovering around 45%. So a 10% drop in win rates, in all things considered, is not terrible. It's actually a fairly balanced game. And then, then they started making the changes for season 4, a lot of which were very popular changes. They made a lot of popular changes. They made some not popular changes. Pretty much most of the changes were to, try to buff models that were not being, used all the time, and then try to tone down those models that are, we'll say, quote unquote, are considered auto includes. So they did a lot of that. The thing is, I will say, I think there is a growing base of people that are determining, what are the best guilds right now, what are the worst guilds right now, and I think there's a consensus around, what's considered the best guilds right now. And the win rates are starting to reflect that way, right? Like most people right now think that the best guild in the game is hunters. That said, it doesn't mean hunters are out there winning everything. They did win the world title, so they won worlds. They're extremely strong. I do think they need to be toned down, but I don't see the difference in win rate between hunters, which are considered the top, and falconers, which are considered the bottom. I don't see it being more than, say, 60 down to, say, 45. 60 to 44 or 45. Can you improve on that? Yes. Is the game Did the game see any power creep? Not really. The game just saw. I think that in the case of the hunters, they I feel like they overdid certain models way too much. Two models in particular went up way too much in the hunters, and hunters didn't see like any nerfs, which is weird because most games, I mean, most of the guilds were seeing like a good mix of buffs and nerfs. I feel like hunters, yeah, yeah, and thanks, S. Christopherson. Thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah, and the games do go much faster. They're more outright brutal, and then your goal scoring tech, gives so much threat. Your strikers in game have so much more threat now, or at least it feels like it. Like you can get quick goals if someone's not careful enough with the ball. And then as far as takeouts, they just happen a lot now. They happen very quick. Decision points in the game happen more quick as well. I do like that aspect of season 4. I feel like that's really where season 4 shines as opposed to season 3, is that I feel like they did get better in terms of speeding up the game. Is it more balanced than season 3? I think it's too hard to say right now. I think I do think the game is overall in a good place though. I can definitely say that. Thought season 3 was good, season 4 is better. Yeah. I think season 4 plays better. The games play better. They're very fun. They're faster. They're more decisive. Are they more balanced? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think we will know for a while. I do, we're starting to see things. I think there's some of us are starting to see things that we think need to be toned down or toned up. We're starting to see things like, oh, it's not quite working the way I envision it to work. So, so then we all become experts in the game and go, no, it clearly must be this. So there's that. I do think hunters need a tone down. I will say that. I think we need to make sure Scalpel is where she should be. Even though I don't consider Scalpel to be very overpowered, but I think Scalpel can actually be a negative play experience. In the hands of a competent player versus a new player, Scalpel can actually, really give a new player a rough time. Scalpel and Obulus always could. War Machine's a good place. So I want to see that. I definitely think Midas needs to be looked at again. I just don't think he's. I still love playing him, and I will continue to play him. I just don't. I don't think he's where they thought he would be. I don't think he's where they intend him to be. He doesn't do what they, when they describe what he should be doing, he's not doing that. And I think that's a problem. So I do think that Midas needs to look at, as far as other stuff, I don't know. They need to figure out why the engineers have such a low win rate. I still can't figure that out. I think they're a good guild. I've been playing, a fair bit of engineers recently. And I think they're pretty good guild. I don't know why. I mean, I think the reason why I'm losing with them is because I'm not very good at the game. But it should. I'm curious to see. I would be curious to hear from, veteran engineers players why they might think engineers may not be in the best spot right now. And then there's that weird union anomaly right now, which I think has more to do with those players kind of the union, the vet Rage players kind of moving over to play Butchers because Butchers is like the hotness right now. I think it's more a case of that than Union being bad. Union changes were very minor, and they and overall, I feel like Union got buffs rather than nerfs. So there's that. And then they also need to look at Grange too. They need to look at Grange and Honor, but that I think that's a problem that they'll never really be able to fix. The discrepancy between, Thresher Grange and Honor Hammer. I don't know that they'll ever really be able to fix that because I don't know how much they consider it a problem, for one. Midas for sure isn't quite up to snuff. For the love of scum, please do something for Stave. Yeah, Stave has been on the bad block for a while. So totally agree there. Yeah, Masons did great at second win, but I think I don't think the guild is in trouble. I think the problem with Masons is just the captain choice is, hammer, hammer, hammer at least 80% of the time. And then occasionally you dip down and play Honor in a matchup that Hammer is bad at. And you just sort of hope for the best. And that's just me. I don't know that they intend that. It just makes it kind of sad for me thinking about, like, really? If they, you should be, ideally, you should be able to play Honor and Hammer and feel like your chances of winning are about the same. You should be able to play, they did that with Obulus and Scalpel. They brought Scalpel up to speed. They did that with Theron and Scatha, or Scatha, however you want to. I say Scatha. I feel like Scatha is actually a lot actually stronger than Theron. And you can feel free to disagree with me there. And I think you could argue it a number of ways, but that's how I feel. Scatha right now I feel like she is actually in a lot of ways stronger than Theron is. And I don't think the greater meta has picked up on that yet. I think Scatha is stupidly strong. Or Scatha. Whatever you want to call her. Whatever you want to call her. Scatha to me she's basically Shark with a freaking Hunters team that she can actually speed up. You know what I mean? Yes, you look at Scatha and you're like, Scatha, whatever. And you're like, I look at Scatha and go, man, that is what I had wished Midas would be. That, yeah, competent striker, but the true power in Scatha is what she can do for the team, right? Just give the ability to give the bear fast ground and then a double dodge on its playbook during legendary is stupidly good. With a range, and she's got a range snare. She has got crazy tools. Yeah, you can look, 4-8, and she can run across the board and she can score a goal. Yeah, that's true. But that's not really, in my opinion, that's not really where her strength really lies. Her strength is really giving that speed to stupidly strong hunters, squatties right now. And I'm looking primarily at the bear, and I'm looking at, obviously Chaska doesn't benefit from that so much, but right now Chaska is bonkers. Right? That's the problem with hunters. That's my bitch with hunters. Is they didn't change Theron, so he can still pin people from 8 inches away, pin them behind obstacles and barriers and all kinds of crap, which is awful. And they did all, so they didn't really change Theron, who was awesome as just one of the strongest guys in the game. Also would point out that the Hunters playbooks are stupidly good. The Bears playbook is absolutely perfect. The Bear has absolutely everything it wants in its playbook. How the hell do you get a knockdown double push on 2, you got momentous damage all up and down the board. Like these guys have captain playbooks. There's 2 of them. Cena and Chaska have captain level playbooks. And especially in the case of like Chaska, you're talking about a guy that everyone's like, basically losing their shit over Boombox, but that's not even where the real scary part is when you look at his playbook and you're like, holy crap, this guy can really pump out the damage when he needs to. He's got a crazy counterattack. He's got, and yeah, he has a low defensive stat, but he has plenty of means to get that up where he wants. So you could put, one of the things I saw locally is our Hunters player took Chaska, put 4 influence on him, and Blessing of the Sunfather for the free boombox. So Chaska's getting 7 influence during his turn with a captain level playbook. You know what I mean? That somebody needs to look at that. That's all I'm saying. Have we looked at that? Are we aware of that? And not to mention, Hunters already have traps. They have snare, which is still the best condition in the game. They have everything. How is Theron? Like, Theron can do everything. People don't know that. Like, they usually look at Theron and like, oh, you shoot arrows at people during his activation. You can you do your Sunstrike. You collect your momentum. You do pinned, and that's only part of how good Theron is. That's just a portion of how good Theron is. Like, don't forget the fact that this fool just drops a forest he just gets a forest during his turn. He gets a forest. He's got a fantastic playbook. He's got an awesome counterattack. His stats are average, but when you put it on a character that strong in all other parts of the game, like you get that and you still get average stats. It's like you're not being punished for anything that he's the worst thing about Theron is 1-inch melee. That's it. That's the worst thing about him. And that's the worst thing about your captain. You're in good shape. I play pretty much all the captains I play are 1-inch melee captains. So it's not a big deal to be rocking a 1-inch melee. I just feel like, yeah, hunters are they're strong. They're the best guild in the game. I don't see. I mean, I can see people making arguments for morticians, but I think they're wrong. I think hunters are the best guild in the game, bar none. And that works against what we're saying about the game being balanced. I get that, yeah, because but that even said, there's English in there. Even though I've said that, I still feel like the game is very, very well balanced. You can still acknowledge, oh, well, that's the best team in the game, but it doesn't mean that the best team in the game is so stupidly broken that they're gonna, that an average. To me, broken is you can take an average player, and that average player can stomp very good or top tier players just because they chose a specific faction or guild. To me, that's what broken is. And so I don't consider the hunters broken. I consider them, the most powerful currently, but not broken. I think, honestly, make like change a little bit on the bear. I mean, 3-0 tough hide, 20 health. What are you? What? What? Steam Forged? I don't think the bear deserves a knockdown. And if it does, like, put it far out there. The bear's got so much crap going for it. Yeah, for sure, he needs different colored pants. They should not be green. What color should his pants be? I mean, I might as well make him black so that he's got. Yeah. Let's make the pants black. Tweak Midas a bit. And Alex are right up there too. Agreed. I think if you turn Midas into, if you gave Midas the ability to really fight with his team, and so Midas can run a 2-2 style lineup that's aggressively, fighty and scory, then Alchemists have a very strong guild. Because all those bad smoke matchups, you play this aggressive. It's not a 3-0 team. I think it can be a 3-0 team, but I think the ideal Midas lineup is really a 2-2 team that can play the 3-0. That's kind of how I look at it. I mean, frankly, I'd be happy if they just gave him showboating back. But his real problem is his playbook is trash. His playbook is trash. Midas Touch is something you should never buy because you're doing it wrong. If you ever had to buy Midas Touch, I guess if you're, the weird spot of the game where it's like, you were already winning and you want him to do a first activation goal run to seal the deal, then then you load him up, you give him Midas Touch, you go in, you buy a dodge. I mean, you charge in, maybe you try to hit the Momentous 2 with the Midas Touch, then you have to survive a counterattack. Then you go back in, you buy your acrobatics to go back in, tackle the ball, get out of there and score. Maybe. This is the only time I could possibly think of where it's a good idea to buy Midas Touch. Most of the time, Midas Touch is just, it's not worth doing. You're better off, using any one of your squaddies to put a condition down on whoever Midas is going to go into. But even with conditions, I say his playbook is still fairly trash. It's still, his playbook is still not good. It goes from extremely bad to still not very good. Again, look at what Skatha can do in her first 2 columns, and buy a double dodge result. Look at what Season Brisket can do on her first couple columns of her playbook. People are nutting their pants over a non-momentous tackle dodge when a condition is present. Oh, Midas gets a non-momentous tackle dodge. That's terrible. No one gives a shit about that. That's like, yes, it happens, great. You still don't have momentum. His third column is an absolute nightmare. Like, who cares? He's got a lure. He's got a 4-inch lure on his third column. That third column on a TAC 6 model, third column is where your bread and butter lies. And all he has is a shitty lure that's within 4 inches. It's a dead column. And you don't get to damage till column 4. Absolute trash. Maybe give him his gold hammer pants back. You know, I actually, and people might disagree with me here, but I actually preferred that his heroic was a 2-inch dodge. That he had a 2-inch dodge heroic. I even liked previous, um, his previous legendary. And I missed that previous. Like I would miss the goal and not get the legendary a lot, but the ability to drop snare down was amazing. His new legendary, pretty good. It's pretty good, but it gets undone with a single activation of Peck. Right? That's come on. Not that good. Comes down to it's not that good, guys. So Midas needs a little love. He's not, in my opinion, he's not doing what they say he does. I remember when they previewed his rules and people were like, oh, they made Midas better. And I would go into like the comment section and go, can you explain to me how? Like how you think that's better than a heavy burden token and a double push, double dodge on 5 and the ability to actually buy your way to it. Can you explain how his shitty playbook is in your mind better for not having that, for having the double push, double dodge higher, for not having momentous 1 push dodge on 3, which is freaking glorious result. Don't forget, he had a non-momentous push dodge on 2 in season 3. That was great. That was fantastic. What does he even have now? I need purple. I need some purple pushes up in this. We got these are secret weapon bases. If you're interested in getting them, they're called Broken Ritual or something like that. So naturally, they look awesome for alchemists. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint them. I may, maybe nothing. Maybe you don't paint these. A couple of things you can paint on them. They'll probably look okay. Actually, here's something you can do. There's that. I need like a bright. But yeah, secret weapon bases. They're fantastic. That's where there's broken ground. I'm gonna push a little orange in there and a little scarlet, right? Make it kind of like, I think there's lava or fire underneath. But I don't know what else to I don't know what else to paint these bases. I thought about that. The cracks are they're too fine to do like a glow in them. I mean, we can try it. That's why we're messing around with that Midas model, right? So we want to be able to try all this stuff. Can't wait to show you guys what this ball is going to look like when it's actually done. Really gonna be trying some weird shit with this guild. Yeah, sorry, Shattered Ritual. Did I say? I think I said Broken Ritual. Yeah, I normally stamp all my Guild Ball bases, but I really wanted something a little more, a little extra special for this guild here, and those were just perfect. I looked them up online, and they just look perfect for this guild. So we went for it. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out what to do with these bases. It's another part of the puzzle here. I also need to paint in the bottles. I don't know. Maybe we will try try glowing. Maybe they should be glowing like orange. I mean, try it out on this on the ball base here. Let's do a little skull here. I'm just kind of dropping in some of that orange there. We really need like maybe like a neon, yeah, like a neon green. Let's try it. Probably like that scorpion green or even livery green. Let me try livery green. Let's try it out. Right, worst that could happen is you just need to go back and do these black. Oh. What I like about this is maybe it almost looks like just poison seeping through. So it's kind of cool. Should it be on the design too? So what we'll do is I'll paint it this green, and then we'll follow up with a slightly darker green. You know, around like a broader, around the broader edges there. Just to, it will help. It'll help bring out that livery green. Let's try it. Might not work the way I was hoping. You just do it. Right. The idea is you want the middle parts of that to be the brighter green, and then you're looking weird. If it's really glowing, ideally, it looks like a little bit darker on the far edges. I don't know. Is it too? Look too weird with the second green in there? Really strange. That might be too weird. All right, and then, well, let me just show you. So this green would actually be the casing green, the lip green. If that looks too weird. I don't know, man. It's definitely weird looking. Oh gosh. Looks like I did not get that part. Might be too much going on. Lip that color green looks weird to me. Maybe I could just I tend to, for Guild Ball, I like to use the green, I mean the color of the guild to denote the models, mainly because like if you guys are watching match reports and stuff, you can't really see the detail of the model. You can at least tell what guild it's, what guild is playing based on the color of the base. Yeah, it looks like a lot going on. It's the problem. I'm not really worried about screwing this up because I can always just, on the ball, I have a very specific plan on what we're gonna do with the ball. It's not gonna be a ball sitting on this, and but I don't know. I don't know that I like. I don't know that I like my all those cracks to be those different colors. Black with some glyphs in the team color, that would be a try for the lip. Ugh. You guys are asking me to friends. I could go with the foul green. I agree that that black would look better. Uh, I just don't want black lip. I don't want black lip bases. But you guys might be right. For these bases, it just looks weird with the green. It looks really washed out, right? A black lip here would really kind of make that uh a black lip here would really make the base stand out. So maybe I break my rule and just do a black base. It'll look a lot cleaner too. Yeah. You guys you guys watch my match reports anyways, right? So you'll be okay with it. You guys give me permission to do this. Then if I see some comment, I don't know what team is playing, I'm just gonna freak out. Damn it! We've been through this. All right, let's try it this way. And this does actually give me the ability to color in the cracks there. By the way, what's up, Nelson? Yes, I plan on blaming you guys if this doesn't look right. It's gonna look way better though with a black rim. You know, the other thought was maybe try to make the base look a little more like almost sandstone color, but I don't think that would help either. I think what's really going to make this base stand out is painting the black rim in like this. Again, this is why we do these models first, because we're trying to get our color scheme down. I also don't, I think, I don't know that I need to do two, I don't know that I need to do two colors of the green in the cracks. I think just one color of the livery green is good enough. It conveys that message that yes, there's poison things, there's like poison line. Speaking of which, I need to get my engineers. I recorded a tournament game of me playing Ballista into Smoke. One of our other locals here, Cody's playing Smoke, and it definitely left me conflicted because like I don't want to beat Alchemy. I love Alchemy. But yeah, it was fun. I feel like that is a great matchup either way for both teams. I think that both teams get to break out their cool shit and try it out on each other. Slate color looked good. I think like a non-oil wash and then the cracks with the violet green and the other color greens be done would work great. So just well, I don't have non-oil, but I do have like a black wash I can use just to kind of tone it down a little bit. Does it look too plain? I'm afraid that the non-oil will, or the black wash will actually just wipe out all those greens. My feelings about engineers is that we don't have all the info we need because 2 minor guild players will change everything. True. Although I'm really liking engineers. I like Ballista way more than I thought I would. And Pinvice was my main draw for going to the teams. I wanted to play some Pinvice, but Ballista is awesome. I mean, I could do it. I did. Again, this is this really is not worried about ruining too much on here. This is a very thin wash, and we're just going to use it to Eh, it does. It's doing a little bit to kind of tone down the base. It's okay. It's not bad. Shit, there was something I wanted to try out. It's not bad. I want to try out something else real quick though. Okay. I picked up something the other day that I thought looked kind of cool if I can find it. What the hell did I do with it? Doo-doo-doo. Got way too much shit in this room. What did I do with it? I go to our LGS here and buy shit all the time. And then I bring it home and I stick it somewhere and then I can't find it. Oh, wait. Okay. I have never used this before in my life and it looks amazing. Blazing ink. What the hell does this do? Only one way to find out. That's right. That is cool looking. Let's see. So I'm going to put it in here. Oh, nice. So you got like some burning ember going on there, right? So you could alternately, if I didn't want to do green, I could also do orange. Although I do think green probably looks better, and green kind of kind of kind of unifies the guild. It's weird. It's gonna look a little weird that I'm still using, because I still want this to kind of look like there's burning embers on wherever there's exposed ground in the base. I'm a little conflicted here. I don't know. Either one could look cool. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, fire and poison. And then I feel like the livery green in the channels there still kind of gives you the idea. Yeah, this is an alchemist team. It still carries the theme of the guild, and I just won't freak out about black lip bases. I mean, I did say I wanted to do a different color scheme for my alks this year, so I guess I'm just breaking the no black no black lip bases. Do I need the second green? I don't think I do. I don't think I need that second darker green. I think I'm good with this. I'll just use this green here. Right. And it just gives it a little bit of glow there. I should point out too, if I did this the other way around and I hit it with that black ink glaze first, this would not work. You have to do this part first. You have to do all the lighter part first, and then you can hit it with the black ink wash, and then you're good. You say that classy black, which is I don't disagree with you, because all of Batman stuff is that green. It's just, for me, all my Guild Ball teams have the color. They have their guild color as the as the baselit. Black does look better, but it just made it easier for me to treat my teams that way. I guess it's fine because this is, like I said, I'm maining this team, so I guess it's okay. They're gonna get the full treatment. So we're gonna get all of those there. All look like a black wash. Yeah. Yeah, this is that black wash is a special mixture I make. I make it out of P3 armor wash plus glaze, and then I think I add a little bit of black ink to it, and it works great. It's I use it for, like, if you're going to outline stormtroopers and that kind of stuff. It's great for that. It's also great for like non-metallic metals. P3 armor wash is like one of my favorite washes of all time. That blaze ink is hot as hell too. Really like that. Oh, feel like this dude here needs a little highlight on his ventral scales. So let's do that real quick. Man, I need to play some Guild Ball. Didn't get any Guild Ball in this weekend, and it's going through that withdrawals, man. Now I realize that a lot of guys don't get to game nearly as often as I do. A lot of guys that tell me like, "Oh, I only get to game like once a month or whatever." So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to game that often, but at the same time, I'm still gonna bitch about not being able to when I can. Also screwed up a little bit there. I'm gonna highlight the ball a little bit too. Although I will show you guys in a minute what I'm actually planning to do with the ball. Because this is not even its final form. Man, oh, baby's upset. Mike can hear mommy's got him, so I'm okay. We're okay, guys. You can judge me. Tell me I'm a bad dad if you want. Tell me I'm a bad parent because I'm painting. You had a tournament in last weekend. And I'll really be like, nope, save it for now. How did you do? What did you play? How did you do? That's what I want to know. I came in the last tournament, like I said, I played Ingies, mainly because Cody was playing Alchemists. So I was like, okay, I'll play Ingies so that I don't want there to be two Alchemist players. And ended up finishing the day 2-1, which isn't bad, you know. I'm okay with that. I need to actually get. But I would have rather have played the boys. I love my Alks. Played Morts on round 1 against Scalpel with Obulus. Round 2 with Scalpel against Grange. Round 3 against Obulus against Obulus. Wow, nice. Did you end up taking the whole thing? You won the tournament? it's still shocking to me to hear painting. Still shocking to me to hear the Steamforge guys say, "Oh yeah, Obulus is working as intended." I'm like, man, if that dude is working as intended, where are my dudes that are working? Holy crud! Obulus, even post season 2 nerf, still strong as ever. Oh, you took second due strength of schedule. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, that's why I ended up fourth because of strength of schedule. So it's funny. It's like after you beat a guy, you're like, now go on and win all the rest of your games, so I can place well. Funny how that works. All right. Well, congratulations, man. That's awesome. I took, I think the one in, yeah, the one in time. I've only played Alks in a one season 4 tournament. I don't get to play in a lot of tournaments because I'm the pundit, so I hardly ever get to actually play in these tournaments. But the one and only tournament I did play in, um, I finished second with them, uh, which is pretty good. I actually had a shot at beating the Hunters player who won, but I had a massive brain fart and could not, like, I had a crucible goal sitting right in front of me, and I knew I wanted to take it, and I made the wrong decisions leading up to that goal, and it cost me the game. So I, deserved that. But the next tournament for sure, I'm gonna. I'm just what I do is I continue to try to drop myself into the tournaments, and then only if it's uneven or something do I actually plan it. Otherwise, you know, otherwise I drop out to make it even. Um, and then we have another guy here who's sort of the deputy pundit who will come in and referee my games if we need. We almost we haven't needed to do that locally though, just because our we got a good meta here, and people are pretty competent. We don't have that many. It's only usually as the pundit, usually I only get involved in top level games if they want a measurement. They want an opinion on a measurement or once in a while a ruling, but for the most part, everyone's pretty self-sufficient and they like it when I'm playing too. They want to, they want me to be able to play in the tournaments. So, super cool. Okay, I'm going to use some of this steel gray, and it just helps kind of give the bottles a clear glass look. Uh-oh. Oh, baby's crying. Better get up there. I'll finish this real quick and head up there. I wonder if mommy is throwing in the towel on that little guy. Let's get some of this on Flasky. See, I'm not really putting much on, just enough to give you a little hint that that's actually made out of glass. Or trying to look like it's made out of glass. Being a pundit's super fun. I mean, uh, I've habitually been like a gaming promoter locally for a number of companies, right? I used to be the Weird Henchman. I used to be I used to do stuff for Ninja Division. And so being a pundit was not a big leap for me. I just, locally, I'm kind of associated with that. I like to run and host a lot of events. It's just fun for me. So being a pundit wasn't a big jump, but it's been a lot of fun. Uh, and there's some perks to being a pundit. But you do sacrifice, like I was saying, you do sacrifice your ability to um, play in all the stuff you want to play in. So a lot of if somebody's got to sit due to odd or even, it's going to be you. If you need to get up and quit a game because somebody wants a game demo, you don't have to, but it's a good idea to, right? And then you're constantly, like I'm constantly trying to figure out, all right, well, what else does the local need? Um, I did some fundraising to get us um, game clocks. I've also done game clocks, mats. I built two separate pundit kits. I have a pundit kit that goes around Southern California to help other areas kind of spread out the game, and then I have my own personal pundit kit. So I own a lot of pitch mats. My 3-year-old yells random. My 2-year-old squawks. He squawks all the time. A little squawker. So yeah, so far these don't look. I mean, they look cool and all, but they're not. There's nothing. There's no like massive breakthrough here on this team. But I'm gonna show you what I'm planning on doing, and you can tell me if it's a good idea or a bad idea. But let me show you. So first thing I'll tell you is that ball while it does have a pin on it, it's not pinned all the way into that base. So not only am I not married to that base with the ball, um, I can also like completely change how that ball is going to be modeled or represented on the board. And I did not do the best job painting this lip in. It's not 100% even. Whoa. Probably need to just be a little more careful here. Okay, put him in here. But yeah, let's paint the lips on these guys, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Gonna take some getting used to. Good old black rim bases. Reminds me of Batman. And I guess the old days of Malifaux. My old Malifaux crews had black bases. And the new ones have the faction color. Anyone else gonna go check out the Malifaux 3.0 open beta? Got a few people locally who are interested in checking it out. So I told them I happen to have an old. I didn't play test it. I was not involved in the playtest. I was involved in the M2E playtest in the alpha settings way back in the day, and then stopped playing during M2E and haven't played in a long time. I still have a collect crew, so we'll see how that goes. So, some locals were asking if I would be willing to jump back in, and I said I'll give it a look. We'll see. I still have my stuff to play, or I have 1.5 crews really. Yeah, yeah, same. I was like a huge 1.5 player. We had a big community here around 1.5, and 2.0 turned off a lot of people. And it's a long story. Whatever. We got out of it. Played many other games, but we still, every once in a while we would play some 2.0. All right. Rinse this off. So that's good for now. So I guess, there's still some highlighting and stuff to do on Midas here for sure, but this is kind of what we're looking at for the new scheme. It's going to be darker. The colors are going to be richer, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'll show you what I'm trying to do here in a minute. All right. Well, right now, actually, what am I doing? Okay. So, like I said, I kind of splurged on stuff that I don't normally do for Guild Ball teams because, again, I love my Alchemists. So I'm gonna just open this up. So I bought some stuff, right? And I bought some of that WizKids D&D stuff because it's awesome. And if you look, so this is their Fire Wizard set, and they make a lot of these. Like WizKids makes or Nolzers or whatever. But then can't get that out. I'll get it out later. But this is it's an eyeball, right? It's an eyeball, and it's totally clear. And you've got, where'd it go? Did I just lose it? Doesn't matter. I don't even need that part. But the eyeball has a little lens. It has an extra plastic lens that goes on it that I am not going to stick on it, right? So the idea is I'm going to take this ball and stick the ball there, and I'm going to paint this like it was summoned out of poison or fire, right? I actually may even do both. And so it's like a floating. So the idea here is I would use a bunch of spell effects from Nolzur's stuff. Like, for example, I might as well open some of this shit just to show you. Okay. So I would spray these with ghost tints, so to give you, I'll show you actually a finished one, what they look like. But see, this thing this is like a dragon. I'm gonna have to clip it off there. but like this is a dragon fire effect on this guy, right? Well, I'm gonna take that, and that is gonna end up being on Crucible. So instead of that swirl, you can see I cut it off and I left a pin here. So what I can do is paint that dragon so that the dragon kind of winds around and then comes around on this side. So instead of that poofy thing, she'll have a fire and poison dragon around her. And I bought a bunch of different ones for different effects. You can see here, that's going to be perfect for Mercury and kind of change his thing there. This is one of my favorite ones. I need to buy a bunch of these because this is like my favorite spell effect. Is this a super expensive way to base the miniatures? Abso-freaking-lutely. I probably would not do this if I wasn't, if I didn't have a steady stream of commissions that I went through. But if you look at these, right? These are perfect, man. Like you clip those off, you paint them, and you can stick them on they would look awesome on any of these models. They would look great here. They would look good on, I really like them on, say, Venom, or even, or Ocalc, to kind of simulate her poison aura. So she'd have like little poison, those clear things kind of coming up on her base. That would look awesome too. But so this being the color scheme, yeah, it's cool. It's going to be understated though, but there's going to be spell effects and stuff on the models to make them, just to give them that added little extra thing. Give you an idea. My son wanted to paint fire elementals, and what I did was I primed them. I just hit them with a varnish, and then I sprayed a couple of ghost tints on them. So I sprayed an orange and a yellow, and he liked them so much. And he's like, "Daddy, I don't want to paint these. They're cool. Like they look great." So if you can imagine this effect, these right, like that, if that's what the fire effect looks like. That's the idea here. Is I would do all this stuff. It'd be a reasonably cool looking guild to begin with, and then you have this. Then you have those clear effects that I would spray with ghost tints. So there. That's my big reveal there. That's really what I'm working towards. You just clip off the extras and add them. Yeah. I mean, I could do a better job with this kind of stuff, right? Because this is just the beginning. You spray it this color, and then then you would pick certain areas to really. You can see I did it a little bit with the airbrush there, right? I'd embolden that a little bit, those flames there, kind of give it more of a deeper orange towards a red color. But yeah, those were totally clear. Those are 100%. They are the same. It's literally the same stuff as like this, right? They came looking like this. And and I've been playing around with these for a little. I've been playing around with the idea of doing that for a little while. And I was like, the absolute best guild to do that for, my favorite guild, right? So why not, man? Yeah, I spent a lot. I still need to buy more because I want to put them on I want those effects on every alchemist piece I have, because I think that it's just going to be awesome looking. Well, except maybe Nausea. Nausea's just a snake. Snick. You don't need to do much with Snick. But yeah. that's the dream, man. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna take me a while to paint because I gotta paint the guild first. Then I have to. Then I'm gonna have to clip these off. Then I'm gonna have to paint these. Then I'm gonna have to put them in. Yeah, he. Well, Naja was he was melee too last season, dude. Naja is he is batshit crazy. I don't know. I played Naja the first time last week against poor Thomas, and Thomas had Boar, right? Had Boar in his butcher's team, and I went in on Boar with Naja. I put influence on him. You don't have to, but I put influence on him. Bit once, got momentous 2, poison, pull the poison off, bite again, momentous hypnosis. And then Boar is absolutely useless. Like that is this model here, Nelson, just don't if I put this on the board, do not put Boar in your team. Okay? Do not. This little snack will shut down Boar for the entire game. It's really sad. And that was the first time I tried Naja in season 4 was against Thomas. I was like, oh, let's try Snake. What is it? Bam! And it just shut. Like Boar was useless for an entire game. I don't even think I killed Boar. I just watched him like be useless the whole game. And did I feel guilty about it? Yeah, a little. Was it hilarious? Absolutely. So yeah. So Naja can do that to Windle. He could do it to Boar. You could do it to O-Rage. You could do it to shit. I mean, there's a few characters that you could just absolutely shut down. You could do it to any character that has one influence on them. With one exception. You cannot do that to Ocalc. Because if you have Ocalc with one influence on her and Naja bites her and puts hypnosis on her, well, then she can still just pull up poison fire somewhere and and still do her character play. It's hilarious. Ocalc can still can still do what she needs to do with 0 influence. Like she's like the most influence efficient model, or one of the most influence efficient models out there. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like the idea. I'm super excited. So I got to paint through the rest of these guys. I think I do like this color scheme. I don't know. I mean, I'll highlight the black a little bit more. But overall, right, I'm pretty down with that. It's a nice looking, it's a decent looking color scheme. It just looks a little, it looks a little boring right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to end up streaming the entire project, but what I'm going to do is I'll take, like after, we're going to log off here in a few minutes. But after that, I'm going to shoot like a 2 to 3 minute video, just kind of recapping what we're doing. I'm not going to talk about this during that video because that's the surprise. Like you'll see that that'll show up at the end of the process. Gold hammer pants. Does he need gold hammer pants? I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's probably the best way to handle the YouTube stuff now is, yes, I'll still stream on here and on Twitch when I'm painting, but I need to cut down a little bit because, you know, some nights I can only paint for like an hour or something. So, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make more YouTube content by just kind of filming a little update on what I'm doing. Okay. Do not do gold hammer pants. All right. Well, it is just about 11:30. I have to get up early tomorrow. So we're going to call it here. Again, stay tuned to the channel because what I'm going to, like I said, I'm just going to do daily updates and we will be streaming again. Maybe we can stream a game Thursday night. Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Anyways, that's going to do for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.